Huawei just announced their GT3 Pro, and I know you guys are wondering, is it better than the Watch 3 Pro? That's what we're going to find out in today's video. Hi guys, this is Big Phil, and welcome back to another video. This time, we're going to be comparing the new Huawei Watch GT3 Pro and the Watch 3 Pro. I know the GT3 Pro is a watch that a lot of people be waiting for. And a lot of people were great fans of the GT2 Pro because it was a great smartwatch. So for that reason, so many people are thinking right now, should they go for the GT3 Pro, which is newer, or should they buy the 7-month-old Watch 3 Pro? That's why I'm going to help you guys in today's video by comparing these two smartwatches. And at the end of the video, I'm going to let you all know which one I think is the best for you. And please, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on notification for a lot of good videos come up on Big Phil TV. Now, let's start this video by talking about the prices of these two smartwatches. The GT3 Pro, which is the newest, is about $500 US depending on the market and depending on the edition that you're going for. If you're going for the titanium edition, it's going to cost you about $550 US. While the ceramic edition, which is all white, is going to cost you about $400 US. So it is the newest and still very expensive. Now, if you're going for the Watch 3 Pro, which is about 7 month to 8 month old right now, you can pick it up right now, I think for about $400 US. But when it was released, the price also was very expensive at about $600 US. So if you're looking for something that's a bit cheaper, you want to go with a Watch 3 Pro because the price have dropped right now. I think right now you can pick it up for like $400 US depending on where you're buying it and where you are, but it's much cheaper right now. And about the design and the build quality of these two smartwatches, I would say they are both very similar. They're both round, which is great because that's one thing I love about Huawei smartwatches, the fact that it has a round and much beautiful design like the Watch 3 Pro. When I put it on, everybody thinks it's a classy, elegant watch because it looks good. So these two smartwatches, you wouldn't go wrong when it comes to the build quality and the design. They both have the rotating crown, which is the best thing about this watch. It makes navigating the watch so easy and so simple. They both have the button on the bottom, which you can customize it for anything. They both have, they're both made of titanium, which, on my opinion, is the best material. I've been using this watch for about 7 months now, and still no scratch on it. Like, it still looks as the first day I bought it. So good. And you all know I've been making a lot of video with this watch. I put it on so many different places, put it on the ground, put it on concrete, but still no scratches on it. Incredible smartwatch, and titanium is just amazing, man. The glass of the display is sapphire on both smartwatches, which is the best because it's got no scratches on it. Listen, I'm a huge fan of this watch. This is my favorite smartwatch of 2021. Up to 2022 is still my favorite smartwatch because of the build quality and the design. And the Watch 3 Pro and the GT3 Pro are both very similar. But when it comes to the size and the thickness, I would say the Watch 3 Pro is much bigger and much thicker. It weighs about 64 grams, so it's heavy. And while the GT3 Pro is much lighter, much thinner, it weighs just 54 grams. So if you're looking for something that's going to be much comfortable on the wrist, much thinner, much smaller, I mean, like most people like to take their smartwatches to bed, the GT3 Pro will be the best option because it is thinner and much lighter than the Watch 3 Pro. And when it comes to the straps, they are both the same. You can buy the GT3 Pro and the Watch 3 Pro either in titanium strap or in leather strap. The one I have here is in leather because the leather strap is a bit cheaper than the titanium strap. Why? They all uses 22 millimeters. So if you have a lot of 22 millimeter watch straps at home, you'll be happy to know that you can still use your old watch strap on these newer smartwatches, which is great. So they're both using 22 millimeter. So, and also their build quality when it comes to the IP rating, they are both 5 ATM of water and dust resistant, which means you can take these two smartwatches for swimming, diving without having any issue. And for SIM, eSIM, only the Watch 3 Pro has eSIM, which means you can leave your smartphone at home, take your watch for a run without having any issue. You can receive calls wherever you are just by using the Watch 3 Pro. But the GT3 doesn't have eSIM. But I know a lot of people out there love eSIM because it makes life easier. You just take the watch, you put your headphone on, your earbuds, connect it to the watch, you listen all your music from the watch, receive calls from the watch, notification, everything can be done from the Watch 3 Pro thanks to the eSIM. So if you like the eSIM, then you want to go with the Watch 3 Pro. They also have microphones and speakers, which means you can make calls with these two smartwatches anywhere. But the advantage of the Watch 3 Pro is the fact that it has eSIM. Their display sizes are also the same at 1.43 inches with a resolution of 466 by 466 and a PPI density of 326. Both the same on these two smartwatches, and they are AMOLED display, which means they are bright, their contrasts are incredible. The Watch 3 Pro, which I've been using for a long time now, I just love the display, man. It has one of the best display on all smartwatches, and the GT3 Pro is no different. Both the same. So if you're buying any of these two smartwatches for a great display, then you won't go wrong either choosing the Watch GT3 Pro or the Watch 3 Pro. Now let's talk about the battery life of these two smartwatches, because that's where Huawei has been winning. In terms of battery life, Huawei smartwatches are the best because other brands are mostly 1 day or 2 days on a single charge. But Huawei smartwatches, especially the Watch 3 Pro right here, can go up to 5 days on a typical usage. But since I've been using it for about 7 to 8 months now, I was able to have mostly around 4 to 5 days, but mostly 4 days depending on how much I use it. So if I'm using it intensely with maximum brightness, it's mostly 4 days. But if you want to take the battery life to an insane level, then you turn on ultra long battery life mode on this watch. The ultra long battery life mode can go up to 21 days on the Watch 3 Pro. And for the GT3 Pro, the battery life is even better than the Watch 3 Pro. According to Huawei, a typical usage, which also means normal usage, can go up to 14 days on a single charge. That is insane. I don't know if that is true, but that's crazy. Then, according to Huawei, heavy usage, which means intense usage, will last you 8 days on a single charge. That is still mind-blowing. Trust me, I have the Apple Watch Series 7 there. It lasts me just 1 day. I mean, 1 day is when I manage to use the watch without maximum brightness and all this stuff. 1 day. The Galaxy Watch 4, typically 2 days. So you having 8 days on a heavy usage on your GT3 Pro, that's mind-blowing. So, but I don't know exactly how long it's going to last on a real live usage, because when I'm going to have my own version, because I'm planning on buying one of these GT3 Pro, and I'm going to do a lot of videos about the watch. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, so you won't miss out all those videos. The software, which I think is the biggest downside of all Huawei smartwatches, the Harmony OS. These two smartwatches are running the Harmony OS 2.0, and Harmony OS still has a lot of room to grow. Harmony OS is new, and there's still a lot of features that are not available for Harmony OS. It's still growing, it's still getting better, and Huawei still have a lot of work to do to make Harmony OS a great software. I've compared Harmony OS with other smartwatch operating system like that of Apple, that of Google, and that of Samsung. I've done a video. I'm going to drop the link in the description below. You guys need to check it out to find out how good or how bad the Harmony OS is. But on my opinion, it still has a lot of room to grow. So that's the biggest downside. And since I bought this watch, it has been on the Harmony OS 2.0 right up to today, almost 7 months, while we haven't released any new updates. And the GT3 Pro still have the same Harmony OS 2.0. And the Watch 3 Pro has more storage and RAM than the GT3. The Watch 3 Pro has 16 gig of internal storage with 2 gig of RAM. That is good. Why the GT3? Why we didn't specify the amount of RAM or the amount of internal storage? But I'm thinking it's going to be around the same as the normal GT3, which is 4 gig of internal storage. So it's not a lot. But if you're someone who's thinking about buying these smartwatches to use them as a standalone device, you want to go with the Watch 3 Pro because one, it has eSIM, and secondly, it has a lot of storage. For features, the GT3 is the winner because yes, it has ECG. Yeah, finally, Huawei smartwatch has ECG. This is the first smartwatch from Huawei to feature ECG. The Watch 3 Pro, which is the most expensive smartwatch from Huawei, doesn't have ECG. And it was the biggest downside to me because in 2021, almost all smartwatches were coming out with ECG. But this doesn't have it. This has all the features, lots of features. Has blood oxygen, heart rate tracking, temperature check, sleep tracking, stress tracking, everything that you think of are available here except ECG. Now we got it on the GT3 Pro. So if you're looking for a smartwatch with ECG or that has all the newest features and sensor, then you want to go with the GT3 Pro. And for fitness features, these two smartwatches are very similar. They both have more than 100 different exercise modes. Yes, that means if you're planning on taking any of these two smartwatches to the gym or for exercises, or if you live an active lifestyle, then you're going to love Huawei smartwatches because there are so many different types of exercises that you can track using these two smartwatches. Yeah, everything. Like, trust me, I'll be using this watch in the gym and normal exercises. Every single thing, every single exercise is available. The last factor I'm going to talk about when it comes to comparing these two devices is the connectivity and the compatibility. Now, these two smartwatches, they are very compatible with Huawei smartphones. That means if you have phones that are running Harmony OS, they will be so compatible with. And they're also great with Android smartphones. But when it comes to iOS smartphones, yes, iPhones, you're going to have a lot of limitations. I won't advise anybody with iPhone to buy Huawei smartwatches. I'll be using this one, and I have an iPhone here. I have Android smartphones, but I realized that on the iPhone, there are a lot of features that are not available. But those features are available on Android smartphones. So, compatibility, Android smartphones and Huawei smartphones are the best for the Watch 3 Pro and the GT3 Pro. And you can connect these two smartwatches to your smartphone thanks to Bluetooth 5.2, which provides a better and stable connectivity. And that's all about this comparison video, the Watch 3 Pro against the GT3 Pro. But I'm going to end the video by saying you won't go wrong buying any of these two smartwatches. They are both very good. But the GT3 Pro has some few advantages over the Watch 3 Pro. They are, number one, the GT3 Pro is much thinner and lighter than the Watch 3 Pro, which means it's going to be much comfortable for so many things, like taking it for exercises, taking it to the gym, or taking it to bed. If you're someone who likes to track their sleep, then the GT3 Pro is going to be the best option because it is much lighter. Secondly, it has ECG. Yes, ECG on the Huawei watch. The first Huawei watch to have ECG, which I think is great. And thirdly, it has more battery life than the Watch 3 Pro. But if it's my money, if I have to pick between these two smartwatches right now, I will still stay with or go with the Watch 3 Pro. On my opinion, it is still the best smartwatch in the world right now. I just love the Watch 3 Pro, man. Everything about it is just great. It feels great. It looks great. It looks and feels like an elegant watch, a classy, elegant watch. It's still my number one, so I will still go with the Watch 3 Pro for few reasons. Number one, it is the best looking smartwatch. Number two, it has eSIM, which I think eSIM is just great. And the fact that it has 16 gig of internal storage, you can put a lot of music in here. You can take this watch as a standalone device. That means you can take it out for run, exercises without needing your phone. And number three, the price is a bit cheaper now. A bit cheaper than the GT3 Pro. So if you're looking for a smartwatch that's not going to break the bank, that you don't want to spend too much money on it, then consider checking out the Watch 3 Pro. you're going to find it in a better deal right now. Just have to look around, especially on eBay or AliExpress. You're going to find it in a better price. Yeah, and that's everything about this video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section, what are your thoughts about these two devices? Which one will you go for? Let me know down in the comment section which one you will pick and why. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification for a lot of good videos come up on Big Phil TV. Until then, see you into the next one. Peace.